I'm Jasmine Anderson. 2 residents are displaced today after a fire tore through a home in Lattingtown. Over 100 firefighters from multiple departments responded to flames yesterday here on Great Meadow Road. 12 volunteers suffered exhaustion and were treated at the scene. One was taken to the hospital. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Nearly 30 years later, some answers and closure after Gilgo Beach murder victims' remains were identified. Macy Egland has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Surprised or shocked. Never felt that, anything like that would happen to any member of my family.
Diane Doherty is speaking about Karen Vergata, who up until last year was considered missing since 1996. Vergata has now been identified as a Gilgo Beach murder victim, formerly called Jane Doe number 7. Her partial remains were discovered on Fire Island the year she went missing, but the rest of her body wasn't found until April of 2011 near Jones Beach.
Suffolk District Attorney Ray Tierney in August identified her as this 10th victim through genetic genealogy, which is what the FBI has been using to assist in the case.
Newsday's Anthony DiStefano has been looking into her life since she was identified and the path that ultimately led to her death at just 34 years old.
She had a life that had a lot of promise.
Vergata was born in Roslyn and raised in Glen Head, attending North Shore High School. She had 2 children, Gary and Eric, now 35 and 33. After losing custody of them at a young age, they were adopted by a couple in Wisconsin.
She knew that she was not capable, she was not willing or able, maybe, to give up her drug addiction.
For a while, Doherty says they would all get together and that Vergata had a good relationship with the kids.
She had a sweet personality. She presented herself well every time I saw her.
But when the boy's birth father died unexpectedly, court records obtained by Newsday show Vergata's life took a turn.
And her life after that became a series of drug arrests and loitering for prostitution arrests in New York City.
In February of 1996, Vergata disappeared. Now finally found, her boys have some closure, and Doherty says there's a sense of relief.
I am happy. I'm very happy. The boys are very happy. They were worried about her. They found out what had happened.
Now they're in the process of getting Vergata's remains from Suffolk police so she can be cremated and eventually buried with her boys.
She didn't just abandon them totally, and it was not her choice. Somebody made the choice for her in a very brutal way.
Vergata's death has not been linked to Rex Heuermann, who's been charged with killing 4 women found near Gilgo Beach. The search for who's responsible continues nearly 3 decades later. Reporting for NewsdayTV, I'm Macy Egland.
Macy, thank you. Read more about the Gilgo killings investigation on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box. Only Newsday, over $17 million in state funds are set to boost water quality projects across the island. The grants from the state's Water Quality Improvement Project grant program aim to upgrade sewer systems, reduce nitrogen pollution, and to enhance storm resilience. Sag Harbor Village and the village of Ocean Beach on Fire Island will receive just under $11 million for projects alone. A big step in Montauk's shoreline restoration. The Army Corps of Engineers says they've wrapped phase 1 of the coastal restoration project on the end. They dredged about 475,000 cubic yards of offshore sand and pumped it onto the beach. Next up, sand fencing and beach plugs. Big changes are on the horizon in Mineola. Downtown revitalization is in full swing thanks to an over $4 million New York Forward grant. The community hopes to transform its hub into a vibrant day and night hotspot. It's targeting vacant storefronts and investing in improvements to facades, sidewalks, and the village green space. Roosevelt High School rocked the robotics world, hosting their first ever competition. The event was hosted by Roosevelt's JROTC yesterday. Students from across New York State were challenged to design, code, and battle robots for a shot at the finals.
The children will learn how to build a robot from scratch. They do their own coding. They troubleshoot. If it's not working for them, they break it down and start all over again with the hopes of winning today to get to the World's Finals.
The World Finals will be held in Dallas, Texas next month. Long Island bargain hunters have a new place to shop for resale treasures. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
American thrift, a sign of the times. Big bargains in a supersized store. The company's latest outlet just opened here in Farmingville.
Thrifting is crazy. We're countrywide right now, so they'll definitely do really well.
Racks and racks of clothes as far as the budget can see at this 27,000 square foot thrift store.
In today's world, it'll help out, saving a dollar or two.
I love seeing that. I feel like we're making a difference in that aspect.
Preston Hutchinson, the store's manager, says his 7-day-a-week job is as much a mission as it is business.
It's awesome when I see a family spend $150 with 2 full carts, where if they went to a typical retail store, that $150 might equal 4 or 5 pieces of clothing.
But beyond all the deals on stuff to wear, there's everything from dishes to electronics to toys and golf clubs.
Daily deliveries of merchandise are always a surprise, the store says, kind of like Forrest Gump's box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Like art to decorate those bare walls.
About this beautiful picture, this painting of this beautiful lady right here. Yes, and it was half off, $24. So now it's $12.
And where are you going to hang it?
In my bedroom.
This is not your mother's thrift shop.
You know, thrift stores get a bad rap with you know, the bad smells and the unorganized layout. And so our business model is just to be as clean as possible, get as much merchandise out for the customer to see.
Cleaning up. Steve Langford for NewsdayTV.
What an adventure. Read more about American thrift on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by King O'Rourke Automotive Group.
Now to Newsday Sports. We have an update on the Mets. Tim Healy reports from spring training.
Already, the Mets are approaching the halfway point of spring training, nearly 3 weeks down, and then there will be 3 weeks to go. The good news and the bad news for the Mets so far in camp has to do with health. The worst thing to happen to them is the injury to Kodai Senga, their top pitcher, their presumed opening day starter. He will miss at least all of April, probably or potentially longer, because he has a strained right shoulder. They're going to take it very slow with him. They were very careful with him last year, and that will continue to be the case now that he really can't pitch at all right now. On the other hand, closer Edwin Diaz missed all of last season with a right knee injury, and he is passing all of his tests, recently even participating in fielding drills. He's probably going to get into a game in the next week or so. Elsewhere on the injury front, Francisco Lindor had elbow surgery last October. He's fine. Jeff McNeil had a torn ligament in his elbow last offseason, and he also seems to be fine, should be getting into a game soon. And just Wednesday, Starling Marte made his Grapefruit League debut. He, of course, had tons of groin issues after surgery last season, but so far so good on the Starling Marte front as well. For Newsday TV, I'm Tim Healy.
Thank you, Tim. Read more about the Mets on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Checking out your hyper-local forecast, a wet week ahead. Cloudy today, highs around 51 degrees. Tonight, lows in the 40s with rain starting late. Tomorrow, 51 and rainy. And here's a look at your futurecast. Let's talk about the rain. You can see all that rain moving in mostly after midnight and continuing through the week. Looking at your 7-day forecast, you can see lots of rain on the way. So keep your umbrella handy. You're going to need it.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching.